How you guys doing tonight? Wow. 2013, huh? 2013. You guys make any New Year's resolutions? Really? Wow. Okay. Nobody. No regrets. No regrets, Chicago. Okay. That's too bad. I was just going to ask, because the next question I was going to ask was, has anyone ever had to make a New Year's resolution in which they don't expose their genitals? That said, I had to make that New Year's resolution a number of years back. It's debatable among my friends whether I have a problem exposing my genitals. But I don't know, like they seem to think I'm an exhibitionist. I don't think that I am, because I feel like to be an exhibitionist you have to get off on it, and I don't. To talk about the first time, I used to live in Seattle, and I got fired from a bookstore. I mean, the short story is I was fired from a bookstore for showing my balls to a 60-year-old lesbian coworker. I wasn't in a band, but I used to play music. I still play music. I played music, and I didn't have anyone to play with, so I created this like fictional band. And one day I was at work, and my friend Judith, this lesbian woman, said, "Oh, how's the music going?" And I said, "Well, you got to check out our website." And so this is me, obviously, sitting on a couch. This was the picture on the website, only I added another me. That's me on the left. Pretty fucking good Photoshop job. Yes, me. And then I added another me. It's pretty cool. There's like a little animation. I don't know if you can tell, but that's my balls. Right there. You can't see it too well here, but I showed Judith this photo. Now, Judith and I were good friends, but a security guard saw, and 3 days later I was fired from the bookstore for showing my balls. And then after I lost that job, I got another job doing video editing. And you guys have probably seen my videos online. I worked for a couple different companies I won't name, but I used to make instructional videos. And it's fun. I did a lot of like cooking. I ended up doing a lot of cooking videos, and sometimes it's a little boring, you know. And at the time, this girl that I was dating, in order to make it sort of fun for myself, I'd shoot a lot of these at her house. And so sometimes when I was shooting these videos, I would like pull out like a ball or two, and there was a video in particular that I did. It was a video on making eggs. Like, I don't remember, it was like Over Easy or whatever. And she was behind the camera, and I, you know, just to make her laugh, I pulled out my balls. Because at the end of the video, you need to, like, you know, sort of demonstrate sitting down to eat these wonderful eggs. So right before I sat down, I pulled out my balls and then sat down. And we shot it, we had a laugh, and then I forgot about it. And a couple days later, while I was editing it, it's like 2 in the morning, I'm really fucking bored. And I think to myself, what if I keep my balls in this video? You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the way like video or film works. You know, there's 30 frames per second, and I thought, what if I just sneak it into like 2 of those frames? You know? So this is serve the toast with your favorite eggs and enjoy. I don't know if you guys picked that up, but I'm going to rewind it in slow motion. Those are my balls. Now what's funny about this, aside from the obvious, is I submitted this and forgot about it. Like I was thinking, oh man, it would be cool like for posterity, you know, years from now I can just like tell a buddy like, oh man, I snuck my balls into this film once. Check it out, man, you know, and then we'd watch it on YouTube and I'd stop it on this frame and we'd have a laugh, you know? And I never thought, but again, it was like so quick. I mean, you guys didn't see it the first time, and I thought, man, there's no way anybody's going to see this. So a couple weeks later, I get an email from my boss, and she said she was real democratic about it. She just said, I was reviewing your videos, and the over easy egg recipe you did, I found something. I'm gonna just let you respond before I accuse you of anything. And I called up my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I left my balls in that one video. She was like, what? I was like, and they found it. She's like, why did you do that? I don't know, I think I have a problem. So I got fired from that job. And again, like, I don't get off on this. Like, I don't, like, think about this and I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm not, like, sexually, to me it's funny. Like, to me it's funny to, like, cause, I don't know, slight anarchy in the world? I don't know. This is my ID picture. That's not my fucking hair, okay? That's a wig. And I went into the DMV. They don't act like, if you go in there wearing a wig, they don't say it. Like, if you wear it the entire time, they don't question that. I mean, if you think about some of the weird people that go in there, they can't... Actually, on the morning that I did this, my old girlfriend Alice, on the morning that we took this, because she was going to get her license too, when I came out dressed like this, she was like mortified. And she was like, I'm not walking with you to the DMV like that. And while I was in the bathroom, she took off without me. So I had to like run down the street to like catch up with her. And we rode the train into the city, and she wouldn't talk to me the entire way until we got into like downtown. And then when she saw how weird like everybody else looked, and that I looked relatively normal compared to people in downtown Chicago, then she started to talk to me. Anyway, so yeah, long story short, I don't get off on this exhibitionist thing. It's just my balls, and like getting them into the world is okay as long as it's like interesting or funny, but it's not like I don't get off on it. So I swore never to do it. You know, I made a New Year's resolution that I wouldn't show my balls anymore. And then in 2005, again, I was living in Seattle. I had this knack for winning contests, and I once won a talent contest dressed as a superhero, like a singing superhero, and I used to go around Seattle performing as this superhero. One time I won a contest I won a contest by creating a chocolate sculpture of Sammy Davis Jr. That's Sammy Davis Jr. made out of Junior Mints. So I call him, Sammy Davis Jr. Mint. I was actually on the front of the newspaper there, The Stranger, and coincidentally, this newspaper is the reason that my balls became exposed again. I was, so in 2005, I was jobless, and I'm flipping through the paper one day, and I come across this ad for a amateur pornographic film festival, and the prize was $500 and a trip for two to Las Vegas during the Porn Awards. And so I asked my girlfriend at the time, Alice, who's actually here in the back. I said to Alice, I was like, hey, because I made films, and I said, Alice, we could win this. And I said, do you want to make a porno with me? And she said, absolutely not. And so I had to make it alone. I created a character. His name was Bo Logan. And I made a video, it was called Bo Logan's Jack Off Extravaganza. And essentially, it's just, there is a story, it's about a guy who can't find anybody to make this porno with him. And so after trying to convince a bunch of women, he ends up just doing it himself. And his closing move is that he this is awful, he jizzes into his own mouth. And I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't know. I couldn't show you the entire film, but I want to show you my favorite scene from the film. It's sort of self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyway. Essentially, he gets off the phone with a woman he's trying to convince to do this porn with him, and she's not interested. And when he gets off the phone, he doesn't have a hard-on, and so he gives himself a hard-on mentally without touching himself, and it's just a time-lapse video of him. I won't explain the details of it, but I feel like it's a little bit of a masterpiece. Can you turn the audio up? All right, well, fine. I'll just do without you then. All right, Bo. You need to get yourself together, man. Concentrate. Concentrate. Let's do this. That's a scene. Again, I apologize. I don't know if you came here knowing you're going to have to look at my penis. I'm sorry. Now that I am on the spot, though, I have to admit, it is a little thrilling for me. Anyway, long story short, I made this film for the festival, and I didn't win. I came in second place. I'm sorry, did someone yell something? No, all right. Questions at the end. So I came in second place. I was kind of disappointed because I really busted my ass for this video, and I retired from porn. And then the following year, I was flipping through The Stranger again, and they upped the ante with the prizes that year. So that year it was $2,000 and a trip for two to Las Vegas again for the Porn Awards. So, and I was still dating Alice, and I went to Alice and I said, listen, I know what these people want. Like, I have my finger on the pulse of Seattle's perverts, and like, I know what these people need. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, there's no way that I can win without a female. Like, I need a woman in this movie. And I said, do you want to do it? And she was like, no. And so I said, okay. Listen, if I can find someone to be in the porno with me, but there's no penetration, like it's just simulated, could I do it? She said, good luck. So I had two people in mind that I knew were sort of free spirits, and the first one that I asked said yes. And so what I did was I revived Bo Logan, and I had this, like, you know, this heartwarming story about him and a prostitute, and I ended up making the porno, and I'm going to show it in its entirety to you. Now hold on, it is pretty graphic, and so I've sped it up. I've sped it up 700 times. So what was once an 8-minute film is now a minute and a half. So it's fast, but there's plenty of penis in there. So.